Cradle, Dogs of Fount, Chapter 31, Part 2. The general's heart let up only a bit. Ryan was laughing too. Arturo stole a glance at the portly judge, Cedric Jackson, to see if he still had an ally, and from the judge's flat look, he concluded he didn't. "Welcome to the party, General," Cyphus said. "I don't know if he's still a general, my friend," Jackson answered. What do you call him?" Cyphus asked. "In deep crap," Black answered. No one laughed this time. Cyphus gave Arturo a creepy, long look up and down, and then turned to the judges in the center of the vast room with his glass of bourbon raised. "I see a man here with vision and the fortitude to carry it out," the tech mogul said. "While you men eat and wallow in the spoils of your closed circuit, this man is manning the arms that keep the invaders and interlopers at bay." He looked back at the general and then to the judges. "Yes, a tool, but a smart tool. A tool that has rusted and become dull, Mr. Cyphus," Black called. "I think it is all three of you that have become dull," Cyphus said. The general thought he saw them all pucker their butts to that. It was a shot of confidence for him. "Beg your pardon?" Jackson asked. "Have you ever heard the saying that a true genius doesn't need to tell anyone he's a genius?" Ryan asked. "You men bolster your reputation and manipulate the masses into a sort of worship and fear of you all. You believe that Fount is a paradise due to you and not the founders that knew when to do some bloodletting or when to give food off their own plates. You can call me an hypocrite because of my empire, but I know the allies are more valuable than bootlickers. And I know revolutions brew when you feed the regulars too much crap for too long. I want power, but power that lasts for longer than hundreds of years. I want a balanced utopia." There was a long silence, and some of them shifted in their coffee brown leather chairs. "Your point?" Black asked with an intimidating tilt of his head. "It's your point. Hollow tip or plain old lead," Cyphus answered and then laughed after taking a short sip of his alcohol. "Energy shift, huh?" Cyphus lifted up the back of his blue sweater vest, and the general saw the grip of a black pistol. Cyphus took it out and turned to the general. He walked over to Arturo with a toothy grin and flipped the gun with the muzzle toward him and the grip to Arturo. Arturo took it and felt the compact weight pressing in his hand. The mogul walked a couple paces off to the side and waited. The judges were visibly afraid, but also pissed. Arturo wasn't smiling either. Richard Black was on his left of the other two, and Arturo walked in front of him, pointed the gun to his head, and waited. His chest was heaving, and the blood was pumping in his ears. With a sharp report, Arturo shot Black in the head, and the man died. He stepped to his right and in front of Jackson, and this shot had a sizzle to the blast. Lastly, Tallman closed his eyes and lowered his head, and finally grinned just before a clap ended his life. The general was out of breath and had been chased away by his guilt and thoughts. Ryan walked over to the man slowly, leather loafers with tassels and stitching scuffing across the carpet. He put his arm around the general's back and slapped the furthest shoulder. "You and me, we're going to change this world," Cyphus said softly, yet his voice seemed to fill the room.